Walt Disney World has let us in on exactly how you can get yourself on board the new Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. The Disneyland Resort has finally announced exactly what is replacing the annual pass program after a lot of speculation. Now we know. We're going to be giving our takes on it and filling you in as to exactly what you should be aware of if you're going to get an annual pass. And is Spaceship Earth at EPCOT worth your Disney vacation time? All that, so much more. It's August the 7th, 2021. Kingdom Report Live starts right now.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Kingdom Report Live off and running with a live look outside at the Disneyland Resort, Grand Californian Hotel and Spa in the distance, Space Mountain, and Paradise Pier. What a shot. What a beautiful shot on a beautiful summer's Saturday. Hello, everybody. Wait for the Kingdom Report, hanging out with you once again with an all-new Kingdom Report Live. All the latest Disney Parks news and discussion for you from coast to coast. Hopefully you are enjoying your weekend. If you're not, let us try and make things a little bit better for you. How about that? And we do have a little something to make it better. Before we get to it, though, hit the thumbs up button if you're watching us. If you are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook Live, hit that thumbs up button. Let everybody know that you are watching the Kingdom Report and that there is more room inside this party for them. Absolutely. And if you're listening to us on any sort of podcasting app, we do encourage you to also go ahead, rate and review the broadcast. That helps out a great deal. But we want to reward anybody that happens to be paying attention to this show. We understand how unbearable it can be to watch a full hour of this and to sit through the whole entire thing, which is why right up front, we like to share with you how you can be rewarded. You can get yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug by simply entering the phrase that pays in the comment section beneath this very video on our YouTube channel. This week, the phrase that pays is Goofy's Sky School. Goofy's Sky School is the phrase that pays that you need to write underneath our YouTube video at the Kingdom Report on YouTube. As soon as the live video posts, all you got to do is leave that comment underneath this very video. And as soon as you do so, you are entered to win yourself a Kingdom Report mug. We will select the winner at random between now and 8 a.m. Pacific time at the Kingdom Report on YouTube. So you will be randomly selected. We'll reach out to you if you're the winner, and we will let you know that you have indeed secured yourself a mug. We'll reach out for more details. This past week's winner, congratulations to Steve Watkins of Alpharetta, Georgia. Wow. We know how big of a fan you are. We can't thank you enough for tuning in and being a part of the Kingdom Report community. And that wife of yours, she's going to enjoy the new hot pink Kingdom Report mug heading your direction very soon. Speaking of hot pink mugs, our very own Katrina Manzone happens to have one. She's alongside Tyler Crouch. They're here with us yet again today. Hey, gang.
Hi, look at it.
Hey, everybody.
Great mug.
Hot pink.
Yeah, now you got to. Now that you got the hot pink one for your wife, you got to get the blue one for yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
Or
Gotta
any
make it a
number
pair.
of colors. They have the whole color of the rainbow available.
Ooh.
Yes, they can select whatever they
Can
like.
they get a rainbow one?
They accept that.
Oh.
The colors of the rainbow, all
Sure.
there.
You can buy every single one and then line them up in your cupboard.
There we go.
And then every single day it'll be like a brand new day.
Got yourself a rainbow.
Yep.
Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
Great to have you guys back.
Thank you.
Last week, out because of Katrina's big birthday.
It is,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Happy late birthday.
Thank you. It was
Do
a great
anything
day.
fun?
Yeah, we stayed at the Grand Californian, which was really fun. It was a big surprise, and I was like, wow, this is really great. And then, and then we just lounged by the pool.
little lounging.
Something's come over us now. We went to the Disneyland Hotel, hung out by the pool, and then did the pool again at the Grand Californian because I was like, I have to do it now.
You must.
I mean, we didn't have tickets to go in, so we're like, hey, let's just chill by the pool.
Might as well chill.
Relax.
It was fun too because for sure. It was fun too because I'm not sure if I've ever been on the water slide at the Grand Californian pool. I definitely have done the one at Disneyland Hotel now, so I had to do the slide again. I get in line and there's this kid behind me, and he kind of looks me up and down, and he goes, "You're going on the slide?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm going on the slide. Why not?" Anyway, it was like this, and he goes, "Okay." He kind of turns. He's like, "All right, whatever, old guy."
Wow.
But
Bothered.
I'm like, "Yeah, why can't I have some fun at the pool? I don't get it. I want to go on the slide."
It is a place for kids at heart,
Yeah.
Exactly.
as well as
I
kids.
mean, we're at Disney, for God's sakes.
You should have looked him up and down and said,
Child.
"Why are you getting on?"
Yeah, exactly. I almost thought
Yeah.
about being like, "Well, why are you doing it?" And you'd
Yeah.
been like, "Well, it's fun," and I've been like, "So I want to have some fun. What's this? Why not?"
Pretty common sense.
Yeah,
Yes, me.
that's what it is. I think exactly right, Wade.
Very disappointing. I'm sorry to hear that.
It
Put
ruined
through
my
the ringer
entire-
by a child.
Yeah,
know.
it ruined the entire trip. No, I'm just
Unreal.
kidding. No, the kid was funny. It was cute. I laughed.
Well, it's great to have you guys back.
Thank you.
After a dip in the pool,
Yeah.
a trip to the spa.
I wish.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Come on.
They're-
Open that
they're-
spa.
It's still closed. Still
Yeah.
closed.
It's a line from High School Musical too.
Oh,
Nobody
wow.
saw it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. Well, hey, lots of Disneyland news breaking this week. We're not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump right into that mother. Let's go. Disneyland news time. Disneyland news time. Taking a look at all of the headlines coming out of the West Coast, all of the headlines coming out of the Disneyland Resort in California. This week, we start with great news, and that is even more dining is heading back to the resort. In fact, we have ourselves several restaurants, including character dining, coming back that I think many of us were kind of worried wasn't going to return anytime soon, just based on other things we were seeing. But the good news is that Brady McDonald of the Orange County Register has reported that just about every Disneyland and California Adventure restaurant and food stand has returned during the phased reopening of the Anaheim parks following the extended coronavirus closure, but there are still a few that remain closed. We'll cover the ones that are open or reopening here for you in the very near future. Carnation Cafe on Main Street, USA, as well as Goopy's Kitchen, the Disneyland Hotel, and of course you have Minnie and Friends Breakfast in the Park also coming back online. Very thrilled to see that so many of these restaurants are returning. What's interesting is Goopy's Kitchen, it's returning without characters. So that'll be back in action on August the 11th. Booking starts August the 11th. Goofy and Friends are being sort of pushed to a later date. So far, nobody knows what that date is. However, the buffet will be returning at that restaurant. So I guess you get that. Minnie and Friends will be back opening on August the 12th with booking starting August the 11th. So be sure to book the night before for your August 12th experience at Minnie and Friends Breakfast in the Park at the Plaza Inn. Very excited to have also over at the Disneyland Hotel Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar. We'll start taking reservations for lunch and dinner beginning August the 11th with the first reservation date being August the 15th. And the Princess Breakfast Adventures over at Napa Rose at Grand Californian Hotel and Spa opens up on August 26th with bookings available starting August the 11th. It looks like that will also be a modified character dining experience. As we know, recently having returned to the Grand and the Storytellers Cafe, we saw Mickey's Tales of Adventure Breakfast return, and that's a modified experience where they really just don't stop moving around the restaurant. They don't really stop for you for a picture. They'll slow down. Sometimes they'll pause very briefly a couple of feet behind you to take pictures. It's kind of how they're doing things out in Walt Disney World for character dining as well. However, they just keep moving, so it's almost kind of hard to take a photo without motion blur. And you can check out my full experience on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel, where I recently went to Storytellers Cafe and experienced character dining's modified version for the first time since their return, and it is a little different, so it's certainly something to get used to. But the princesses will be there at the Napa Rose, and they will encourage you to saunter on in for a collector's photo with them. You'll also get some goodies at the Napa Rose on top of that. And then the other great news is that Carnation Cafe on Main Street, USA is finally returning. We've been wondering about this. A lot of people have been commenting and asking, when do you think Carnation Cafe is coming back on Main Street? And yes, it is officially opening September 16th. all that classic comfort food back in action on Main Street USA. Very happy to see that, and I know that oftentimes that is my go-to breakfast spot when I go to Disneyland Park. It's just so convenient. It's right there on Main Street. You soak in the elements. Has not been available since the theme parks have returned, and we continue to hear over the course of time that it really just came down to they didn't have enough cooks, they didn't have enough staff to bring back for the sake of running and operating all of these restaurants, and it's been a slow burn trying to get all of these teams back in order. But now it looks like maybe hopeful that they're going to have the staffing that they need come September. But all of these restaurants, all of these options returning. Katrina, what amps you up the most?
I'm going to say Trader Sam's reservations.
I'm shocked.
No. But I'm excited to see the Napa Rose princesses come back because I think that's really fun because it's like, it's one of those things where it's like a very unique experience. You know, we used to have Ariel's Grotto with the princesses coming out, but now that's Lamplight Lounge. And so when they brought this in, I thought that was a really fun thing. And so now there's going to be like a picture opportunity outside with the princesses, which is really cool because I mean, who doesn't want to get a picture with the princesses? I mean, so at
It's
least
a little bit weird as a 34-year-old guy.
Speak for yourself.
But it's
Sleeping
cute, like,
Beauty, stand next
you
to
know,
me.
like for like boys and girls, you know, if maybe the boys or something don't want to go, they can go to Storytellers Cafe, and the mom and the daughters can go to like the princesses and stuff, or you know, it's like whatever. But it's like a fun atmosphere. So that's what I'm excited about. I know everybody's super stoked about Carnation Cafe, though. Everybody wants their deep fried pickles. You know, I can't have them, but I know them. Everybody talks about them.
You smell them.
I smell them. I like, can I smell your pickles? And then he's just like, well, that's
I'm
not
like,
really
oh, yeah.
dirty.
Oh, you'll smell my pickle. That's right. Scandalous.
But yeah, I'm like, it's because it's kind of sad when you walk through Main Street and it's like people are sitting outside, but you see the doors shut and you're
Right.
not used to it. So I'm excited to see this stuff come back.
Carnation Cafe has such a heartbeat for Main Street. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like without it, you really are missing a core piece of Main Street USA. And every time I walk by and also see the lights out, it's like depressing, you know, to come across that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Great list though, seeing all this stuff coming back, Tyler.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I would have never guessed. Well, first, I think a couple weeks ago, even I was saying, I wonder if they're going to bring back the princesses at Napa Rose. And I would have never guessed in 1,000 years that princesses would be coming back before Goofy and Friends
Right.
over at Goofy's Kitchen. Because let's be real, like, okay, I know everybody loves the peanut butter and jelly pizza over at Goofy's Kitchen,
I mean,
but
pretty
from
good.
there, I don't know what else. You know, maybe breakfast is pretty good, but I don't know. The dinner is not the reason you go to Goofy's Kitchen. So it's weird to see that they're doing this without any characters at all. You would think that they would at least like make a little outdoor area, I guess, but
I agree.
you know, I'm surprised they haven't done that.
I mean,
but
they have all of Steakhouse 55 Lounge.
Right.
That
You got
they
a lot
could
of
do
space
a
over there.
picture opportunity.
they could have definitely had, you know, Goofy standing in that area, I guess. But they, you know, they're all about show, and maybe they would have been like, oh, we don't want to take pictures in this
By a
busted
bar.
ass lounge, you know. Anyway,
So dark.
yeah, it's kind of a little, yeah, you know. I love Steakhouse 55, but if they were going to keep it, it probably could have used a little bit of a refresh. But anyway, I digress. I'm very excited for these places to open, like you guys said, with Carnation Cafe. It is kind of a mainstay of Main Street, and I feel like it's one of the things in the entire park that really relates back to Walt anymore at this point, because, you know, they've still got like his chili there, and it just has that, I don't know, like that comfort feel. Like it's a nice place to have a lunch. But yeah, very exciting. I'm open more stuff.
More stuff.
I feel like we're almost
Open
there.
more.
I feel like we're almost there.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Slowly but surely,
Yeah.
all of these things are returning, and it's great news. So keep your eye on Disneyland.com to make your reservations, especially for Plaza Inn the night before. So you might want to do your best to get those reservations there. Moving along, it looks like park hopping is set to remain timed. As we know, since returning to Disneyland, it looks like the park hopping time limit, where you would start in one park and be able to move over to another if you had a park hopper ticket, was daily at 1 p.m. It looks like that's going to stick around at this point. Brady McDonald, also from the Orange County Register, said that Disneyland plans to maintain afternoon park hopping rules to help reduce crowding and manage attendance as the Anaheim theme park eases state-mandated COVID-19 capacity limitations and prepares to return to full capacity. Park hopping is expected to begin at 1 p.m. For the foreseeable future at Disneyland and California Adventure, according to Disney officials. Disneyland used the 412-day coronavirus closure as an opportunity to rethink decades-old policies and practices that passionate fans would never have allowed the happiest place on earth to change without a fight. Before the pandemic, park hopper ticket holders and annual pass holders could start their day at either Disneyland or DCA and hop from one theme park to the other as many times as they'd like, whenever they wanted. But now that has changed. So the 1 p.m. time frame, certainly something that went into effect when park hoppers returned upon the reopening of Disneyland, as mentioned there. Something that, it doesn't so much bother me. I mean, if you're planning your day and you're starting in a park, I mean, you got to start somewhere. You might as well start in a park, and 1 p.m. does not seem that late. I think Walt Disney World is a little bit later in terms of time limit, but this seems like one of those things that it's almost, I mean, if they're going back to a full capacity measure, I don't know why it's needed necessarily. If they're going back to that level, then okay, why not allow people to move back and forth the way that they see fit? But at the same time, I know that there are some benefits that we've noticed over the course of time since they've reopened where the park hopping time limit almost serves to an advantage to some people in said park, because usually closer to that 1 p.m. crossover time, things become a lot more, we'll say, available in terms of time limits. Time waits, I should say, drop pretty significantly leading up to that point of crossover. You guys think they should keep a park hopper timetable in effect? Seems strange.
Does it benefit me that much? Not really, but do I think they should keep it, like, from a operating standpoint? Yes, I think they should keep it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it helps them understand who's going to be at what park when, and if that kind of increases slowly my enjoyment of the park, then I say keep it. It is like kind of weird now that I know it's something we all have to get used to, but if you really think about it closely, it's not that much of a change. Like, it really isn't, especially like in Florida, you were making your reservations before you had to make your fast passes before you even got there anyway. So it was the same thing as reserving a park day in a lot of ways. So I just think it's something we kind of have to get used to. I kind of enjoy it in a certain light. So I don't know. I don't see a reason for it to leave. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with everybody, and like you said, that 12 o'clock lull point is like when everybody's kind of eating food or kind of like ready to go. I remember like way back, like when they first started this though, like everybody was like lined up for Disneyland. So when we were on the Disneyland side in the morning and like 12 o'clock hit, it was like a ghost town.
Yeah.
And so that's when you go ride rides, because everybody would just be, okay, everybody's going to be waiting out in the front. And then as soon as it hit like 1 o'clock, it was just a madhouse. And that's when we would run to DCA. We were like, bye. But now I think that it is a good thing, because, I mean, you still can try to get a fast pass for either park at 12 o'clock if you get into your first park anyway. So sure. I don't know. I feel like that's fair. And then, you choose the park that you really want to go to, I feel like. And then for us, like, we've done it a couple times where, we chose Disneyland in the beginning of the day, because it's always fun just to go at Disneyland in the morning. I don't know. It's just like magical. And then we would make lunch reservations on the other side. And our lunch reservations would be around like 12:55.
Yeah.
Or like 1:15 or something. And then 12:55. Okay, fine. Like, we're 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine. Like, I think it's fair. And if you're an annual pass holder or magical key pass or magical key holder, I don't know what they call them now. You're gonna go and just choose a park and just go to it. It's not gonna be a big deal. I can understand on the viewpoint of, I mean, it may change a little bit with like the key holders coming now, because they can just like leisurely go whenever they kind of want at 1 o'clock. Start your park and then hang out a little longer, go do it. But I mean, if you're a vacationer, you want to make sure you get your money's worth.
Big time. Absolutely. Well, and speaking of that Magic Key program, we move along here to other news, and that is that Disneyland Resort has finally announced a replacement to the annual pass program. Can you even believe it? Are you as shocked as I am that it finally happened, and it happened now? by gosh gracious, here it is. The Magic Key program has officially arrived at the Disneyland Resort, and now we have our answers as to what is going to replace the annual pass program. Officially, we have now learned that this Magic Key program has 4 different options for you in terms of what you would ultimately like to have as an annual pass. First and foremost, we have the Dream Key, and the Dream Key is something that is certainly the most expensive of all of them. It's reservation-based admission, much like all of the passes, much like all of the Magic Keys are. So it's $1,399 for that Dream Key. You can reserve up to 6 park reservations, I should say, at a time. So you can hold up to 6 reservations at a time. 20% off select merchandise, 15% off select food and beverage, and theme park parking is included with that one. So $1,399 for the Dream Key, and you can also pay per month, which is so helpful. $102 for a 12-month plan, $179 down for that, ultimately, for California residents. Moving along to the Believe Key, that is $949. That's also reservation-based. So again, every one of these is reservation-based. So the Believe Key is $949 in total, up to 6 park reservations in which you can hold on to at a time, 10% off merchandise, 10% off food and beverage, 50% off of theme park parking, and $65 a month with $179 down. The Enchant Key is the next up, and the Enchant Key costs you $649, also reservation based, up to 4 park reservations in which you can hold at a time, 10% off merchandise, 10% off food and beverage, $40 a month with that $179 down. And then finally the Imagine Key, $399 is what the Imagine Key is, and that is something that you can pay $19 a month for, with the $179 down. This is available for Southern California residents only, so that's the big caveat. Southern California residents only can get the Imagine Key. Up to 2 park reservations can be held at a time, 10% off merchandise, 10% off of food and beverage. Katrina, this is thrilling to finally have answers, to finally know what they are going to do for the over 1 million people that happen to love themselves some Disneyland, that all had annual passes before, and now we have our answers as to what options are being available. Did anything surprise you in this rollout? Did you think there was going to be something that wasn't, or did you think that this was incredibly generous? Because I've seen it both ways in the fan community. Some people are furious that certain things weren't offered. Other people are like, this is far better than I expected.
See, I'm kind of like I teeter towards like either one, because I am shocked by the prices. Like they seem okay, but if you think about it, $1,400 is very expensive for 2 parks. I mean, we paid that price when we had the Premier Pass, and we got Disney World. So technically, we got like what, 8 parks technically with over there. We got the 4 and the 2 water parks, and we got like the 2 parks over here. It was, that was $1,400. So now you only get Disneyland, and that's $1,400. It's very expensive. I am kind of surprised that they didn't offer, like, the parking's the killer, I think.
Yeah.
And I keep saying this to like my friends too, because the parking is $25 just to park there. And so when they used to offer, when you buy the annual pass before, you can add on parking to it, to any pass. And that was always a good thing, because if everybody had the Southern California pass or something, it didn't come with parking. Only one person needed the parking, and that was it.
Right.
But now it's like the Dream Key only has the parking, and then the second one, Believe, right? All these names sound so magical. So the Believe Key, you get 50% off the parking, but still $1,250 when you add up and you're an annual pass and you get 6 reservations. So you maybe show up, like, let's say Saturday and Sunday, because that's what annual pass holders do, is they show up on a Friday night and Saturday or whatever. That's a lot of money to like rack up, and they're not even offering an annual pass or a parking option to add on to it. There's no photo pass. Maybe they'll add it later on, but I mean, it's just I'm like the teeter-totter. It's great that they offered it, not reasonable, but like okay prices. But it's just you know, like that top tier one, you get everything you want, right? you get better discounts, and then as soon as you hit that second tier, it's just like, okay, discounts, not 20% anymore on merchandise, is 10%.
Yeah.
15 on food, now it's 10, and so you're losing a lot of money. So consider that when you're buying your annual pass, is like, how many times do you think you're going to go a month? And if you live close, like you live close, like you can just Uber there, so you don't have to worry about parking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like a lot of the locals, like if they have their mom and dad or whatever drop them off, or their loved ones, whatever, take an Uber. Yeah, sure. Get the cheaper pass. It's easy. But for like us, if we show up, like if we think about it, it's like if we want to show up maybe like 4 or 5 times a month, that's like $100. And so if we're gonna do that for a year, might as well just shoot for the high pass for $1,400 in that way, So
adds up real quick.
do the math, because that parking, it's gonna kill you.
Definitely, yeah. Tyler, observations on the new rollout?
Yeah, I am one of those people that's actually pleasantly surprised by what they announced, because as we've talked about on this show many times, I kind of thought it was just going to be a system where you get like a certain number of days basically, and there would be a limit on it, and you could just choose when to make your reservations. And no, they've actually kind of just gone back to what annual passes used to be, except for the fact that now you have to make a reservation for a day.
Flex pass.
Well, right. I mean, they had the Flex Pass, but so now they've basically made them all Flex Passes. Like, so that's the only major difference, I feel like. As well as like you don't get Photo Pass with like the big one, and you're not going to get Max Pass. I'm pretty dang sure Max Pass is not coming back in the same capacity it was. Yeah, I know. All that Paris news with all of the rides costing their own money for each individual ride. If you want to take a family of 4 on Peter Pan, it's going to cost you like 45 euros or something like that, which is really crazy. Anyway, I digress again. I'm pleasantly surprised. I really thought it was going to be worse, but I think what they've realized is that, we've talked about it before. There's all this rhetoric that they needed to get rid of the annual pass people. They didn't like it. Like we know, from some of your behind the scenes chats and stuff, even that you've told us that like, oh no, they've been wanting to get rid of it. And I think now they've realized actually, I think we need these people.
Yep.
And
Adventures Campus was meant for an annual pass holder, with what they're trying to do with the different characters changing clothes every single week. I mean, hello.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I hope that they bring more of that stuff to even like Galaxy's Edge and things, because that would be very exciting to have the park change over time and have new experiences. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, again, I'm kind of shocked that it is like basically a very, very similar type of program that it used to be. It really is. And again, after all the talk we've heard, I really thought they were going to try and change it up more, but
I anticipated far more restrictions myself, so I was pleasantly surprised. And I will say that I think you're absolutely right. They realized during this reopening period without an annual pass holder base just how empty these parks became, and how fast, even when they reopened to the rest of the country and California said, hey, you can come back and do business with us again, the demand was not nearly as big as they had anticipated. And then they rolled out discounts California-wide all of a sudden for tickets and multi-day tickets, just to try and flood the parks with people, because they were not seeing the demand that they thought they were going to see. So while I think they got the best of both worlds here, with the reservation process locked into all of these, this means that nobody can drop by after work, which was the biggest problem that everybody complained about, that worked in Disney operations and that worked in the capacity that tried to control the last batch of annual passes. So they got really, really irritated, because that would just tax the infrastructure immediately. Everybody would come in after work, 1 million plus people. There'd be nowhere to park. Everybody was angry.
Oh my gosh. We all saw those Twitter feeds of the being like, Mickey and Friends' clothes, and so is this. Go to Toy Story. Just go
Main
down
Street
there.
would be completely overwhelmed with everybody arriving at the same time. Fireworks, people would be camped out all day because they were annual pass holders, and they'd come and clog up all these public walkways keys and all of these spaces that had, quick service restaurant tables. They'd be sitting there all day squatting. And so I think that there's finally a bit of a give and take. Yeah, right. I was one of those people. So, I mean, I'm harping on myself here, but they have certainly found, I think, a good balance, and we'll see how all this pans out. I know that all of these keys have different options for folks, and you let us know in the comments. Are you somebody that is thrilled with the new annual pass holder program called Magic Key, or does it totally miss the mark? Are we missing something in all of this that you think we should be aware of? Leave it in our comments section underneath our YouTube video at The Kingdom Report. We would love to hear your perspective. All right, friends, you stick around. Walt Disney World News is up next.
Do you know everything the ghost host is going to say before he says it? Are you ready to thank the Venetians each time you board Spaceship Earth? Can you recite Walt's opening day dedication speech? Then join the Kingdom team today, the influential legacy fan community featuring exclusive merchandise that will alert all who've come to this happy place that you are more than just another guest. You are a trusted theme park fan. Don't miss out. Join the Kingdom team right now by visiting the homepage at kingdomreportlive.com. That's kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Time for some Walt Disney World news with Gared Hassel, our Walt Disney World reporter. It's Gared on the go time. He's standing by somewhere for us in Orlando. Which theme park you at today, man?
Well, if you look at the walls of construction behind me, there's only one place that can be, and that is, of course, EPCOT. I am in front of the former Ellen's Energy Adventure, now to become Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And then you've got the Play Pavilion back there, and if you look straight down the middle right there, you might not be able to tell, but there's actually a blue building right there. It is using Disney's special paint that makes it blend in with the sky. Only Disney is the only company that could hide a building in plain sight. Like, honestly, if you don't look for it, you walk right past it. It just has that perfect color that blends in with the sky. Like, yeah, just like, you see that? You can't
totally
see it.
Invisible.
Exactly, right? They do the same thing right now
building?
in Toontown with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. They have a sign that says there is no building here. It's genius.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you just put a tree in the right place, gone.
Absolutely. Yeah. Landscaping 101, how to hide buildings. It's simple and easy. But yeah, Cosmic Rewind is supposed to come hopefully in 2022, fingers crossed. We don't really know what's going on. They haven't really announced much, but they've shown us some pictures. So I'm pumped for it because you get to go into the Guardians of the Galaxy world. And the launch is going to be similar to Rock and Roller Coaster, where it's a launch. But you get launched backwards, and I can only imagine it gets even more awesome and more Guardians-esque. Like, as long as I hear "I am Groot" and Rocket laughing in my ear, I'm good to go.
Do you think you're going to be into this one with knowing your history with Everest?
This is different.
Oh, it is.
This is different. Yeah, absolutely. Folks, if you don't know, I have a very strong relationship with Expedition Everest. But to answer your question, I am excited for this one. Everest can stay where it is. This is not like Everest. This is nice. Everest is mean. All right? But I'd happily go on it multiple times with Katrina, except she doesn't do right.
Yeah, right.
And I know that we have that special photo in our system here with you on Everest. I'm sure we can find that by the end of the segment and share it with our community once again, because as you all know, there is a photo that gets snapped when you are on that attraction, and there is certainly something that we have to share where he was right alongside our friend Tyler Crouch, and they got to enjoy it together, and it was something.
Yeah.
Tyler left me to die on that ride.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we can find it. But Gared, when it comes down to getting to Walt Disney World, everybody, for the most part, that comes from out of state, if they're not renting a car, typically they are jumping aboard Disney's Magical Express. And as we all know, that is quickly coming to an end. It sounds like the solution, which we've learned about recently also, was Mears Transportation was going to be setting something up. Well, now we have details on what that is. Inform the masses. Tell us what we should know.
I'd be happy to. So, as of January 1st, 2022, Mears Connect is going to be replacing Disney's Magical Express. And like you said, Wade, Disney's Magical Express is pretty much the one-way ticket to where if you want to get from MCO, Orlando International Airport, to your Disney Resort, you'd hop on this bus system and it would take you there. But now it's going to be Mears Connect, and they've unleashed some of their plans. It's going to be very similar to Disney's Magical Express. Both are operated by Mears. It just has the Disney logo on it for it to be the Magical Express. But it's going to be offering a safe, reliable, and easy transportation. And the price is actually not that bad. With the Magical Express, pretty convenient, there was no price with it. But this one, for a one-way ticket for an adult, $16 round trip, going to be $32. For kids, going to be a little bit less at $13.50, and then $27 overall. That's the standard. There's also a premium rate where it will be $200 for up to 4 passengers, and that's a round trip ticket. And along with that, you can schedule up to 3 hours in advance for the standard, 2 hours in advance for the premium. And if you're flying international, the times vary for that, but it could be a bus, it could be a van, but this is going to be the new way that guests can get from Orlando International to, the most magical place on earth out here at Walt Disney World. So it's nice that there is that convenience. It just thinks that it won't be the Magical Express, but still it gets you there, at least until that possible train route gets here, but that's not coming for a while. But until then, get ready for, Mears Connect. In the meantime, the monorail's going over. Monorail does not yet go to and from MCO, but maybe in the future. But I'm just happy that there is some kind of transportation, because an Uber ride, depending on time of day, it could be $68 to get from MCO to your resort. I've had to do that before, and it's a heavy price to pay depending on time of day. I've seen high rate times just for a normal car ride of $84 for an Uber or a Lyft. So Mears Connect and the Magical Express are definitely safer routes. But if you have a reservation right now, until the end of 2021, you can still use the Magical Express. I know that's something, Wade, you've used many times. Tyler and Katrina, they rent a car because they go to other places like Universal. I don't know what that is. Yeah, you fancy. You could always call me and I give you a ride, but whatever.
But whatever. Yeah. This is something Magical Express losing it, and I think I've vocalized this before, is a huge blow to the fan community, because it was something, yes, complimentary. It was something that a lot of people relied on to get back and forth to the airport with, and because it was complimentary, it really did keep you there. I mean, it was one of those things that worked to Disney's advantage, and certainly was something that I know a lot of people, got to because we've been doing it for so long now. It's been available for so long that your luggage would appear in your room. You would drop it at your home airport. You wouldn't see it again until it got to your room, and then you'd be on your ride as soon as you get to Orlando International Airport. And there's all kinds of great magical elements that the bus itself has that you can enjoy. And it's a real disappointment to see it go, and now know that you're going to be charged for something that was complimentary for the longest time. Yeah, of course it was baked into the cost of your room, you just didn't know it, but it was nice to have that. And now that prices are even higher to stay at Walt Disney World, and now you're also having to pay for that extra service that was once complimentary. That is a bit of a burn, so I totally understand how people could feel.
It's expensive.
Yeah, adds up. Family of 4, I mean, yeah.
They have that magical pricing of $200, so yay.
Hey, people, if you're flying into MCO, hit me up on social. We'll arrange a deal.
Is not exactly as cheap as you might think, and I don't think many people thought it was going to be cheap, that's for sure. So when it comes down to how this pans out, the pricing start points are pretty darn steep. In fact, we've learned that 2 guests per cabin will be costing a total of $4,809. That's for the entire voyage. That's $1,209 per guest per night. 3 guests per cabin, it gets a little cheaper. $889 per guest per night, or $5,299 for a full voyage total. And then over at the 4 guest per night per cabin, $749 per guest, and then $5,999 for the entire voyage. So pretty steep pricing. I don't think anybody anticipated it was going to be cheap, that's for sure. But the 2-night stay in a cabin or suite does have some perks. There are a few things that each voyage does come with. It is an ongoing immersive and interactive entertainment where choices determine your experience. We have learned that from Disney. Food and beverages on the Starcruiser, excluding alcoholic and specialty beverages, and a quick service meal at Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo or other select locations at Disney's Hollywood Studios come along with that. Admission to Disney's Hollywood Studios for your planetary excursion to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, valet parking, as well as exclusive Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser data band, known on your home planet as a magic band. So now we know that when it comes to those items, that is what you get. Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. It is steep. It is expensive. Again, I don't think anybody was thinking it wouldn't be, but now we have the official pricing. Tell us, when it comes down to it, Tyler and Katrina, that's a lot of money for a family or just a party of two. You guys going to be staying there anytime soon?
I'm going to wait.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, definitely waiting. It's one of those things, right, where this experience is like so new and there's kind of been nothing like it before, that I feel like I want to see what, like, they've come out with this list of, you know, of like, oh, you're going to have this is a story time thing, and this is going to, oh, and now you're going to have this hour to go and play in like the engineering bay and stuff like that. But like, you can see that on paper, but what does that actually mean? You know, like, I just need to know what is actually happening on this Starcruiser before I spend $5,000 to do it for 2 nights, because that's a lot, especially for 2 nights. And we kind of joked around about it on our little chat that we have on our phones and everything, and I don't know what else to say. Anyway, we joked around about it, and it was like one of those things where it's like they're acting like it's a real cruise, and they're charging you real cruise prices, but you're not traveling anywhere, and you're not going abroad. You're not doing anything that you would normally do on a cruise. I don't even think there's a pool or anything. So
yeah,
it's
everything's
just
indoor.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like you're paying for. They're like, hey, look at this fake cruise we set up, but here's some real cruise prices, and you're just kind of like, oh boy, I don't know, because at this point, I think the inaugural sailing of the Wish had cheaper rooms for 2 people than this does, which is kind of insane to me. Like, that's a real boat. That's a real ship you're getting on, you know? But we'll have to see what the experience is.
Pretty wild indeed. And I understand that Gared Hassel is back with us now in EPCOT. Any comments, my friend, on the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser experience?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to use the Force to get me onto the Galactic Starcruiser, but then Han Solo was like, "That's not how the Force works." This is a heavy ticket, and I would much rather spend the same amount of money on like a 7-day Disney cruise, which, you know, Disney cruise is a little bit pricier than other brands, but I'd rather spend 7 days, you know, in the Caribbean, swimming in a pool, if you can't swim in space because no oxygen, rather than, you know, do this. So I'll wait to see how the videos come out, because no doubt the other vlogging channels will go out there and Disney will put out a lot of promos for it. But yeah, this is something that right now the price tag just doesn't seem as worthwhile. Like $100 a minute or something like that. I'm not going to do the math because I'm a communication major, but like, this is a heavy chunk to pay. Like, Wade, like, if you want to give me a loan, I'd be happy to experience this on behalf of the channel. Or, you know, like, I would happily sell off one of Kurt's legs.
Oh no!
Oh no!
He has a
Listen,
baby.
Does the baby need the leg? No, the baby needs formula. So there we go. He doesn't need. We'll get into it later. But right now, it's just a little bit of a heavy price to pay. It sounds really cool, but 2 rooms and a cramp, and I can't even look out a window, except I'm looking into space.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, space.
But I don't know, that the igniting lightsaber, that seems pretty cool. So if that's legit, I don't know, that might be worth at least $1,000.
See, but I'm still worried. I'm still wondering if they're going to let anybody actually hold that thing. I think that's part of a show. I think some actor is going to be holding it. I don't think you're going to hold it. But
For the price you're paying, you better be able to at least touch it.
You get to stare at it.
I also just think it's wild that, like, part of your day is in Batuu, but that is included with my annual pass. So
Yeah.
why would I want to pay $5,000 when part of the experience is Batuu? And I'm like,
to get
well,
Rise of the Resistance.
I guess.
That's
Docking
why.
Bay 7 lunch.
You have to pay for that,
Do you,
though.
do you get special
Which is a
costumes
bummer.
for this? Have they mentioned if you get special costumes for this, or
Well,
you just go in
should.
and
That's what
like,
they did
you know,
in
a
the
T-shirt?
thing.
Because like, I want special costumes. I want Broadway level
no,
stuff.
you're not.
I want song and dance numbers.
Gotta get
I want
fitted for
random
it.
lightsaber fights. Yeah, like
Perfectly tailored.
I,
Duchess 47 is saying she's gonna wear her Hogwarts uniform.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
I like that.
instead of be like, it's gonna be the Force versus magic, which is mightier.
Ooh.
Oh, yes,
Epic battle.
Yeah, Force versus magic.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
really want someone to wear.
But like, don't get me wrong. I want to do this experience because I think every child at heart wants to do this. But my wallet and my bank account disagree with it wholeheartedly, and they say, "No, that's a bad choice right now. Wait until you're 73 and retire."
Oh
There
my
you go.
gosh.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Walt Disney invited us, we would love to stay there.
Well,
Yeah.
he's dead, so
Yeah.
I don't think.
If the company
Oh,
decided, yes,
right,
the
yeah.
company, I have to be specific, yes.
Bob,
if they
if either
decided
of the
to
Bobs
give
are
us a
listening-
media event day, I would be more than willing to do it. It'd be really great,
Ju-
super fun. I'll wear their costumes. I'll do it.
Dress her up.
I'll do it, and I'll even do the Leia buns and everything. But I just cannot. I don't know. It's very pricey for 2 days. If you're a
Yeah,
Star Wars fan, I could see you throwing your money. Just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see that lightsaber. I'm gonna wear that costume. I'm gonna get. What is the shuttle gonna look like when you're going from the Starcruiser?
Well, it's probably gonna look like a
to-
bus on the outside, but inside it's gonna look way
Is it gonna
different.
be like the train from Hogwarts to Diagon Alley and stuff, or to Hogsmeade? Is that what it's gonna look like?
Makes you wonder.
I
So
don't
like
know.
they're gonna
I think
have
it's gonna
some
be a
weird-
vehicle that somebody drives.
Yeah, but you
Like,
can't see outside. It's all backstage.
Yeah. Right.
Well, no, well, it's gonna be maybe it'll have like cool windows and effects or something.
They're gonna be like, put these
I don't
goggles
know.
on.
Maybe
Yeah.
screens on the windows
Yeah.
and enclosed, an insulated bus perhaps.
Little
I would
Or you put
imagine-
on virtual reality goggles or something.
It sounds like,
Might
I
be.
mean, it sounds really like fun for a person who loves Star Wars. If like my child
Yeah.
loved and like bled Star Wars, I would do it for them.
Yeah.
So
As a
they
casual
can see their
fan-
cute little faces light up. That's great.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not, I don't really want an hour to go or half hour to go on Smuggler's Run. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't need it.
I'm not their target
You know?
demographic either.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
just-
can't see paying this much.
Tyler
for
wants it
this
just for
experience.
the fact of going on
Hogwarts,
Smuggler's
on the
Run.
other hand, I
Oh.
would throw my money so fast. Duchess 47 and I are gonna go over and we're gonna have a blast. I'm wearing my Gryffindor robes and I would totally pay my money. But again, we're all different, you know what I mean?
Very true.
So it seems cool. I can't wait to see pictures, videos. I will be stalking YouTube when
Sure.
this stuff happens, being like, what does that suite look like? I want to know.
Yep.
It looks legit by the pictures.
Real legit.
It looks small though. Like again, they're like, hey,
It
we're,
looks cool,
we're
though.
pretending this is a cruise, so we're giving you the things you expect on a cruise. We
I-
were even joking that they were going to charge for internet.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean,
But they
you're
will. I
in
don't think they will,
space,
but
and you
wouldn't that
have
be
these
something?
data bands, so why not? And also, it's like when do you have free time as like an adult? Like if we're all doing this and you're on an itinerary, when do you go?
When you're
to a
sleeping,
bar?
that's your free time.
That's it.
You're sleeping
How
is
do
your free
you-
time.
How do you throw them money on alcohol?
Yeah.
Like I would love to just roam around the Star Cruiser and have a drink and go to other places and just hang out and stuff and not have an itinerary because that's not my vacation. I hate itineraries.
I hope the drinks are better than Oga's though. Gotta just say
Doubt
that.
it.
Lots to determine as we head towards the Galactic.
But we still want to
Starcruiser.
go. But we still want to go.
Yes, Walt Disney Company. We'd love to.
Yeah. Call upon the spirit of Walt.
Let's
and,
all-
and let him get
Yeah.
us in there, please.
Let's all throw in. Let's do this. Let's get a 4-person cabin.
Oh my
Well, the
gosh.
4 of us will go.
Garrett's gonna have to like shimmy up in that little bunk bed and just try to like
Yeah.
curl up in there.
the tallest among us, Gared, will get the smallest bed. Right.
Makes for.
I will.
good
I will be
video.
like
Right.
Han Solo in a tauntaun in Empire Strikes Back. I will get all up in that thing.
Oh, perfect. Wow. Well, hey, now we know we can't afford the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel. Something that we can afford, though, is a preview to Remy's Ratatouille adventure. Sounds like that's on its way.
Yes, that is right. So select guests have been invited to preview Remy's Ratatouille Adventure at EPCOT. This, of course, is the copy of the Ratatouille attraction that is right now at Disneyland Paris. This is going to be in the backside of the France Pavilion here at EPCOT, and it is supposed to be quite spectacular. The people that have been selected to go on this are DVC members, that is Disney's Vacation Club, and yeah, if you are a DVC member and you have a reservation during certain times, you may have been invited to come and experience this attraction. The preview dates for this are September 5th, 17th, and 20th. So if you had a date during that time, you could have been asked to say, hey, you want to come preview this attraction? And you better have said yes, because these, I guess these previews are going pretty fast. Like, it is not a, oh, I'm just going to sit down and think about it. No, it's like you need to commit to it. You need to go to it, and you just need to cancel all your plans. If you had Rise of the Resistance, you don't anymore, because Ratatouille is more important. But it's exciting. They did actually send out an email to annual pass holders. I apparently got my email late, because by the time I clicked on it, it was like, haha, loser, you don't get it.
Way to go.
But
pay attention.
But you can, but yeah, check your emails. There might still be spots, but please, please, please look. If you did not get it, don't worry. Just wait until October 1st of this year, and you can experience the full attraction. And just for you folks out there, the one in France is quite spectacular. This is a 4D attraction, meaning you're going to be hit every sense except for taste. That's the one you can't do it. But when you're going through it, you're shrunk down to the size of a rat. You can smell the fruits. You can feel the heat from the burners, and you can experience what it's like to be in Gusteau's kitchen, like the Ratatouille film. And it's an honestly amazing film. If you haven't checked it out, you got to give it a go. It's not Mickey Mouse. It's Remy. He's a rat, but it's in Paris. So, c'est la vie, baby.
C'est la vie. Indeed. Well, we're very excited to see the Remy's Ratatouille Adventure come to EPCOT, and especially the France Pavilion. And we thank you for bringing us the headlines out there this week. And I understand that we do have a photo in which to share from a certain attraction that you went on. Oh, yes. There it is.
That is the look of a warrior in pain.
Yeah.
I think the Yeti may have punched me in the stomach or something, because I just felt like dying at that current moment.
And you don't, and you don't think you're gonna feel like dying when you go on Guardians of the Galaxy? Okay.
No, Kevin Feige wouldn't let that happen to me.
God bless
him.
I don't think he even knows.
Oh no, they're best.
Yeah, if you don't know who Kevin Feige, he's the executive producer of Marvel films. He's gonna make sure that's full of magic. But no, it's different, because it just is, man. Like, when you're up at that elevation, you're the highest mountain in the world. Like, you lose oxygen, you pass out. Okay.
So many excuses.
Tyler just laughed. Tyler laughed at me while I was on that attraction, and he went on it a second time after that, just to spite me.
Just to spite you. Yeah, well, we know that you can't handle certain rides, and hopefully you'll be able to handle that one. So we'll certainly see, and hopefully the head of marble is going to make it more smooth for you, so that you won't lose your lunch.
It's his number one consideration.
It's true.
Yeah,
I'm sure Kevin watching this. Hey, Kevin, good to see you, buddy.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you joining us, sir. And if you think that you might be able to afford a trip on the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel over there at Walt Disney World, let us know in the comments section. Or if you are somebody who's all amped up about this Remy's Ratatouille Adventure finally getting a start date, oh boy, we also want to hear from you. Leave your perspective down in the comments section. As always, we look forward to hearing your response. All right, my friends, let's keep the fun rolling with a little Do It or Ditch It. Do It or Ditch It time. This is where we take a look at some of the best of Walt Disney World or Disneyland. Today it is all about Walt Disney World, and more specifically, it's about Spaceship Earth at EPCOT and whether or not it's worth your Disney World vacation time. My friends, this classic attraction is something that is indeed that golf ball that you see at Epcot, so sort of that icon of the park that everybody sees on the way in. Yes, there is a ride in it, if you didn't know, and that is called Spaceship Earth, and it is something that has been around since the dawning day of Epcot, and certainly is one of those attractions that people have come to know as sort of the hallmark of the park, right? It's right there when you walk in. It's one of the first things people tend to go on. We asked you what you thought when it came to Spaceship Earth at Epcot and whether or not it was worth your vacation time. Here's what you said in our official poll. You said 85% worth, it's a must-do. 15% of you said not really when it's worth your vacation time or not. So 85% of you overwhelmingly saying that this one attraction at Epcot is absolutely worth your vacation time, certainly something that you would go on. Katrina, it is a ride that is synonymous with Epcot. It is a ride that, again, you walk right past on the way in and on the way out, unless you're using International Gateway and going out the backside of World Showcase. But this ride is one of those that kind of beckons people because everybody's interested in that big golf ball. Everybody's interested in like, what's in that thing? And I want to go see it. And yeah, I want to get on that ride. Is this a must do for you on your trips?
It's a must do.
A must.
A must. It's like living with the land, right? It's just so much learning is involved, but it's always really fun. And it is like living with the land too, because there's like peak times for people to come in. Because again, you said it's like the first ride when you walk into the park. And so a lot of people, I mean, yeah, they, in the beginning, they run to like Frozen and stuff and Test Track. But for this, I feel like sometimes there are heavy wait times during like the peak hours.
Yeah.
And so if Fast Pass ever comes back, I would say get a Fast Pass for it if you can. But I wouldn't wait in line for it for a very long time because it'll always die down throughout the day. So just keep checking the app. But it goes fast when there's no Fast Pass now because it's just to keep, like it's a Omnimover, right? That's what it's called. Mm-hmm. So it just like keeps going all the time. But I mean, when you go in and then you just like sit down and you start doing your, where you're from and that kind of stuff and what you like when you're, at the end when you're like going back down. But anyway, so it's really fun because then you get your picture taken and then it shows up at the end of the ride and you always do something silly and
You're in a
stupid.
simulation. Yeah.
It's really fun. And then, I mean, come on, Dame Judi Dench. I mean, that is like the most relaxing voice you can hear besides Julie Andrews.
That's a good point.
And Maggie Smith.
Queen narrator.
But she is, I love her. And so when you go in, when I first did it, I was kind of like, this is a lot. Like, this is just weird. But then I like learned to love it. It's kind of like that weird thing. Like he describes it. And I'm like, this sounds like a really weird ride. I don't know. Okay, let's just do it, And I loved it. And I was
like,
like,
it grows on you.
Judi Dench is in it. Oh my God. And so I just love it. And then you get to see like all the, you learn about papyrus, you learn about the Phoenicians,
communication,
you learn about all those fun things. And so it's just, and it's really fun. And you get to go backwards, you go to space and you come back down. It's like a G-rated Galaxy, what is it? Galaxy Rewind or something like that. It's like PG because like you don't go fast and you just slowly go down.
A more mild
From
version,
space.
yeah. Right, yeah. Okay. I guess that's a good comparison. So must do for you. How long would you say it's worth waiting for? So if you don't have a Fast Pass, don't wait longer than what?
I don't know. I would say like 20 minutes. Like sometimes that line gets just wrecked. Like at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. Because again, like you said, it's your way out. You're like, hey, why don't we just do this ride? But in the middle of the day, no one wants to trek all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And while they're in World Showcase, because I mean, sometimes it's a lengthy walk. So I would say just keep checking it because sometimes it's just like walk on and we'll do it twice in a row.
It is a big park, yeah. So certainly if you're in the back of the park, that is a long distance to go. Let's jump out to Walt Disney World now, where our Florida reporter Gared Hassel standing by at Epcot, and I do believe in front of Spaceship Earth. Buddy, when it comes to it, is this a do it or a ditch it for you?
Oh, this is an absolute must. There's no question about it. The first time I went on this attraction, I was blown away by it because, one, the audio animatronics are, I think, pretty top-notch on this one. The Judi Dench just doing the narration, at least if you select the English version. If you select the French version, it is not Judi Dench. However, she's a classy lady. She can probably do all the languages.
She's a dame.
She's a dame.
Yeah. She is quite a woman indeed. But I love the story that they tell, and I graduated with a communication major, and so the attraction is all about communication, how we grow as people coming together, how we talk, how we transmit information, and to me it's like poetry, and all the different scenes in there, and then you smell Rome burning, and you're just like, man, that really sucks. And then you're like, oh, what? Spoiler alert. There's still books around. Mine, blown, baby. Judi Dench was like, oh, call it the first backup system. Boom, baby. It's like mic drop after mic drop after mic drop, and then you see this Afro girl as a scientist, and then you then go into the Matrix, and then you're in Spaceship Earth looking up at Earth. There's just so much going on with it. Yeah, this ride is an absolute must-do. To go back to the original question, so folks, if you have not, go aboard it, because I've heard so many people be like, "Where does the attraction actually go? You can even go in that thing." Yes, you do. And Judy Dench takes you there, holding you by the hand and by the ears.
Very good. And thank you for your keen insight in front of Spaceship Earth. Tyler Crouch.
Dramatic.
Yes. You got to make sure it's still there, Gared. But Tyler Crouch, what do you think when it comes to this attraction and all of the goodies that it has within that golf ball? Lots of things to see, lots of things to experience. And I think one thing I love most about it, there's so many audio animatronics in this ride. That to me is what Disney does better than anybody. And so to see all of these humanoid robots running around inside of an attraction really does spell, I think, something captivating, something very interesting, especially when they tell a different story in each segment.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you really kind of piece it all together, it is a little bit of a genius ride, to be real, because it's all built in this sphere, right? Like, which is kind of crazy by itself. But then the fact that you go through kind of so many little winding passages and stuff, and I feel like in most rides you'd be like, oh, this feels a little claustrophobic or something. But the way they have mapped it all out and figured it out, and it's just, it feels great. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Feels great.
Like, it feels great because, again, you would think because it was such a small, there's so many small areas, it would maybe be a problem, but they figure out a way, in combination with the darkness and their lighting and things like that, that they've made it feel very spacious, actually. You see what I did? That spaceship.
You're really clever sometimes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's a 100% to do it. To answer your question about like how long I would wait, I would say maybe like 10 minutes, because as Katrina alluded to,
10
you
minutes.
Yeah,
Really?
I think 10 minutes. And the reason is because if you go there, like the beginning of the day, avoid it. Like, wait for a long time.
Good strategy.
Wait until later, maybe like late afternoon, something like that. And it'll be like a 5-minute, 0-minute wait, like literally like walk on. So that's definitely the time to do it. And the other great thing about it too is I feel like I've been saying this about like every ride that we've done Do It or Ditch It for, but it really is this like palate cleanser ride again. I say it like all the time, where and I think it might be one of the only attractions that I've ever actually fallen asleep in, which sounds like a bad thing.
Oh,
sounds like a bad thing, but it's just so peaceful.
It is. I agree.
And especially when they start, there's the grand kind of reveal of seeing all of space, and then seeing our love Spaceship Earth off in the distance, and it just looks epic. And then they turn you around and you go down the massive hill. And it's just kind of like, now I'm leaning back. Sorry, I can't get too far away from the mic. leaning back, and I'm just falling asleep and enjoying
stars
myself.
around me.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Air
super hot
conditioning.
outside. Yeah, and there's air conditioning. It's like, yes. You pop your back because you're like,
All the
all
force.
the rides
Yeah,
and stuff. Oh, it's always fun.
It is fun, and it's also fun at the end too to put in your kind of your different, like, what's your idea of the future? Like, what do you enjoy? Do you enjoy work? Do you enjoy fun? Like, different things like that. And it takes your picture from the very beginning and puts it on these goofy little puppet bodies and cartoon puppet bodies, and it's always fun to just like try and see how many different combinations of those stories you can put together. So it's a good time. We always laugh. Sometimes the camera messes it up a little bit, and like your eyeballs are missing or something, and you're like, oh god,
I have no
I'm
soul.
a freakish monster. But
I've been that demon before too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it I think just all around it, and it's classic Epcot.
Mhm.
It's one of the few things left that's just like classic Epcot. So if you really are a Disney fan, you owe it to yourself to go experience it. And like I said, get there in the late afternoon and you'll get right on Golden. Yeah.
Golden. No, great strategy. Very true. It's certainly an attraction that has a lot of movement in terms of, like, it never stops. It is an omni-mover, as Katrina alluded to in the very beginning. And so typically, even the longer waits, I mean, the line does move fairly quick. So it's not like you're going to see a whole lot of, stop, start, stop, start. And the people just continuously load in this environment unless, there's a disability and then they need to stop it completely. But most of the time, This thing just keeps going. So at any rate, I would say it's absolutely a do it. It's absolutely one of those attractions that I would say 20 minutes seems to be at least reasonable for me. I wouldn't wait beyond that. But yes, there are those certain sweet points throughout the day where there's nobody out there. There's nobody going into that ride. And so I typically, around like 1 p.m. or so, but that's my time. Like I'll go in.
Everybody's eating at like World Showcase.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like munching around. You're like, you know what? No, I'm going to go and just chill out and take a nap on Spaceship Earth. Listen
Crack
to
my
Judi
back.
Dench. Yeah, and crack my neck. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
right.
Sounds like
See?
it's a great combo.
Oh my God.
And it has so many great lines too. Just
Like a grand and miraculous. Yeah.
yeah, and do you know your
Thank the
ABCs and junk? And then
Phoenicians.
thank the Phoenicians.
That's right,
I got a
yeah.
hat that says "Thank the Phoenicians." Thank to this one. So
You're welcome.
Hell of a hat.
You gotta. It is a great hat. It is
Like if you can read
fantastic.
this, and the back says "Thank the Phoenicians."
Oh. It's even in one of our commercials. We love that comment so much. We love that line. Well, my friends, you let us know in our comment section, are you somebody that has to do this attraction when you go to Epcot? Is Spaceship Earth a do it or a ditch it? Did we miss something entirely? Are there things we're not thinking about in this review? We'd love to hear from you, so be sure to leave it in the comments section. As always, looking forward to your perspective. All right, my friends, we wrap up next.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Well, my friends, that about wraps things up for us here today. I apologize for all of the technical issues. I know that we've been spotty here. If you've been watching the live broadcast, the live feed, it's dropped in and out, and there's been some issues with audio and stuff like that. So greatly apologize for that. It's not something that we typically come to find around here, but we understand there was some frustration and you left the broadcast, but we do appreciate those of you that stuck with us through the entire live thing. For those of you that are watching after the fact, you probably won't notice a whole lot, but we certainly appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us and experiencing this on the weekend. Hey, as always, we look to reward those of you that stick around on this live broadcast, and you can win your very own Kingdom Report Live mug. All you gotta do is leave the comment underneath this video as soon as the live video posts on YouTube. Leave the comment Goopy Sky School. Goopy Sky School is what you need to leave just beneath this video. Between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, you will be entered to win your very own Kingdom Report Live mug. If you are the winner, randomly selected, we'll be reaching out to you to say, hey, you won. We'll get some more information and send you your very own mug. Again, congratulations, Steve Watkins of Georgia, for winning this past week and getting his mug sent to him. He's giving it to his wife like any good husband would. So the hot pink mug is heading her way. So congratulations to Steve Watkins in Georgia. We are grateful to have you along with us, and your viewership means so much. My friends, we will see you right back here next week, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, for an all-new Kingdom Report Live. And remember, legacy of Walt Disney, it lives on because of people like you and me. See you next week.